Greetings, greetings, greetings. This evening, you all, we are sharing a technique I like to call 7-day soul hack. This is allowing you to create a powerful shift for yourself within 7 days, okay? Very quickly. And you can shift an extremely stubborn energy blockage, something in which you just feel caught in a loop, or something you're just drawing a total blank, like, hey, I just feel completely disconnected with this issue right here, okay? So this is something I really want you guys to grab a hold of and to take very seriously. This is something I've been wanting to share for quite a while, and something that's been extremely powerful for me in my own life, okay? So right now, you guys, now is not the time to let yourself get stuck. Now is not the time to shrink into fear. Now is not the time to be rehearsing negative scenarios in your mind, possibilities that things, may not turn out the way you want. It's not time to be entertaining those type of thoughts, okay? Because we are in the midst of a very powerful energetic shift globally, okay? There are so many factors converging that are actually working in your favor, that are actually providing the energy to support the things that you want to manifest right now, the things that you need to manifest in order to expand your life, in order to expand your existence. Okay, so now is the time to be very intentional with your thoughts. Okay, so I'm sharing a technique tonight on how to do this. I want you all to take notes. Okay, this technique, I'm going to take this video down as soon as I put this technique up on a paid platform, okay? So that is something that I'm actively working on, but as of right now, I'm sharing this for free because it is, just as much as there are all these factors, planetary alignments, the end of an old age, an old yuga, and the beginning of a new one. We got, a new season beginning. We got solar eclipses, the spring equinox, all of these factors that are here to support our expansion. Just as much as that is happening, the fear machines are also working overtime, okay? Greetings to everyone coming into the room. Greetings, Zena Electra. Greetings, 18 Caro. Greetings, Indiri. I hope I'm saying your name right. Indiri. I hope I'm saying your name right. Greetings to you all. Greetings, love magnets. Greetings, love icons. Greetings, love warriors. Okay, we're sharing a 7-day soul hack that's going to allow you to absolutely shift any issue that you are dealing with right now, okay? Anything that you may be struggling with, okay? So, you guys, with every thought and every emotion, you are already creating a shift, okay? You're already creating a shift, all right? You're already creating your next now, okay? And that has always been the case. Okay, but like I said, right now, at this time, our energies are amplified. Okay, so your ability to create the next now is even more so amplified at this time. Okay, now we have all these things going on: new astrological year, new age. We have geomagnetic storms causing fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field. The Earth's aura itself is fluctuating, okay? The Earth is becoming more magnetic, okay? Hola, Dabney. Greetings, okay? So we want to take advantage of this energy that's here to support us. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. Let's get into the technique. Okay, tonight I'm elaborating on a technique that I mentioned last week in my at the end of my last week's message, which was finding yourself or losing your mind, rapidly dissolving timelines. Okay, so if you missed that message, go back and see that video. Okay, I've been getting so much positive feedback on that video that I decided to go a little further with elaborating on this technique. Okay. All right. So now, greetings, Knox. Hello, Ian. Greetings to everyone coming into the room. Okay, so the technique that I'm sharing tonight, I'm going to show you how this technique works and why. Okay, and it is based on the energy of the number 7 and your 7 chakra system. The 7 chakras are your basic chakras. There are more than 7 chakras, but your basic chakra system consists of 7 chakras in your body. Okay, so we're going to utilize the energy of your 7 chakras and the energy of the number 7. Okay, now numbers are energetic signatures that the universe recognizes. Okay, so the number 7, and I'm going to share with you in just a moment how we're going to utilize the number 7, but the meaning of the number 7 is transformation, transfiguration. It has to do with a quest for knowledge, right? The quest for knowledge of source, right? For knowledge of how the universe works, okay? The number 7 also represents travel from one state of being to another, as we mentioned, transformation, right? Momentum, right? And the number 7 also represents allegory, which is a story that teaches you a lesson, okay? And the story of our life definitely teaches us lessons, okay? So you guys, we're going to be utilizing this energy of the number 7, the meaning of the number 7, as we utilize our 7, the energy of our 7 chakras. Our chakras are energy centers within our body. Okay, and it's very important to understand the energy that you hold within your body and in what's called your biomagnetic field. You may also hear people using the word aura to describe your biomagnetic field. Okay, so this is going to get very detailed. I want you guys to take notes. I'm shooting this video from my energy healing studio here in Tennessee because I have a big board here that I'm going to show. It may look backwards for you guys, but if you download the video, possibly you can flip it later, maybe, or still just follow along. I know it's easier for some people to see something backwards than others, but I'll show the board a little later just for those who need visuals. Okay, so you guys, I want you to designate 7 days, and this is so simple. This is so simple that you really can start tonight. Okay, you really can start this tonight. You can put aside a small amount of time tonight to start this practice. Okay, and the way that we're utilizing the number 7 is that you will be using this technique, using this practice for 7 days in a row. And on each day, I want you to focus on one of your 7 chakras. I'm going to give them to you in order, and I want you to focus on that chakra, on these chakras in order. So day 1 would be root chakra, day 2 would be sacral chakra, day 3 would be solar plexus chakra, and so on and so forth. Okay. So now, within 7 days, you will experience a major shift in your energy concerning whatever issue it is. Whatever issue it is you focus on, I want you to focus on the same issue for 7 days. Okay. Now, if you want to, after the 7th day, you can just start over. Okay, you can start over if you want to and do another full 7 days, starting with your root chakra and going up again and make it 14 days. You can stretch it out for a third week and make it 21 days. As we know, it takes 21 days to break a bad habit. So if your issue is of a habitual nature, then it's very important to go ahead and do the 21 days. Okay, that may be extremely effective for you. Okay, to utilize that 21, which is a multiple of 7. Okay, so transformation, multiplied transformation is what 21 is going to represent. Okay, now what I want you to do during the 7 days is align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the outcome that you are seeking by doing this technique. Okay, align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the outcome that you are seeking. And if at any time during the 7 days you catch yourself thinking, doing, speaking something that is in opposition to the outcome that you're seeking, I want you to immediately correct yourself. Immediately correct yourself by thinking, doing, or speaking immediately in alignment. Bring yourself back into alignment with the outcome that you're seeking. Okay. And don't even let anybody come around you speaking negatively, speaking against the outcome that you are seeking to create. Okay. Don't allow that. Okay. I want you to be very intentional during these 7 days. Okay. If you guys are ready, we're going to get rolling. I want you guys to be ready to take notes. Okay. Now, I'm going to be giving you the 7 chakras, each chakra. Okay. The color that it's represented by, because you may choose to do some meditation on each day, utilizing, focusing on the color of that chakra. I'm going to give you the color. I'm going to give you the meaning of the chakra. Okay. I'm going to give you questions that you can use as journal prompts on these days and an affirmation. Okay. So let's get rolling, you all. And because I want to be able to give you journal prompts, I'm going to use an example issue for tonight. Okay. An example issue that you might choose to work on. And this is one that is extremely prevalent right now. Okay. So the example issue that we're using, we're going to give journal prompts and affirmations that would help if you are working on the issue of fear of your own power. Okay. Fear of your own power. Okay. This is the fear of taking charge of your life, fear of making yourself seen, fear of taking the action steps that would allow you to become more powerful and expansive in your own life. Okay. Fear of being the star player, right? Playing the lead role in your own life. Okay. And this is something that I've done extensive work on for myself. So this is not anything that I'm unfamiliar with. You guys, I'm never teaching you about anything that I haven't experienced. Okay. So we're going to start, you all, with the first day of your 7 days. And with your 7 days, like I said, I want you to, I'm just going to reiterate what I said on the last video about it. I want you to take 7 days, and on each day of the 7 days, I want you to pause at either 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. You can do this at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. Okay. I want you to take at least 7 minutes to either journal on using these journal prompts, one of the journal prompts that I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a few different journal prompts that you can choose from for each chakra, or of course you can make your own, right? If you feel led to make your own, please do, right? You can take 7 minutes to journal on these journal prompts, 7 or more minutes, but at least 7 minutes. Okay. Or you can use the affirmation that I'm going to give you, or make your own affirmation. These are just example affirmations, right? Because you may tailor it to a different issue that you're dealing with. But utilize the affirmation in a meditation or visualization for 7 minutes. And yes, it's okay to set your timer. If you literally have intention to only spend 7 minutes, that's okay. 7 minutes is enough to create a shift if you're doing it every day. Like I said, you can do it at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., or you can do it at both times. Okay, there's times I've done this, and I've done this, I've paused at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. when my schedule allowed. Okay, now another little tip that I shared. Greetings, Jits. Greetings. Another little tip that I shared last week. If for some reason you are unable to do the practice at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., if you're able to do your 7 minutes of practice at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., the next time you can catch that same energy is at 8:17. Okay, so that's an hour and 17 minutes later. Okay, at 8:17, when you add up 8, 1, and 7, you get 16. 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay, so that time still carries the energy of the number 7. Okay, and we're tapping into the energy of transformation, the energy of transfiguration, right? The quest for expansion and evolution. Okay, now starting with the root chakra, and again, we're using the example of fear of your own power. The root chakra is represented by the color red. Okay, and I'm going to see here. Okay, just want to show you all the board here. Here in my energy healing studio, the root chakra is at the bottom. Are you all able to see this? Are you all able? Somebody let me know in the chat if you're able to see the board here. I just want to make sure. Can someone in the chat give me a yes or a no if you're able to see the board here? I'm getting a message on my screen that's telling me that I'm oriented wrong with the camera, but I'll leave it this way if you guys can see the board. Somebody let me know in the chat, can you see the board? I'm going to pan upwards here just in case you guys want to play this back and get a screenshot. Tell me if you guys are able to see the board. Okay, Jit says, yes, you can see the board. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Okay, I'm going to focus in on the root chakra here. Now, the root chakra is represented by the color red. The location is from your genitalia to the third vertebrae. It represents safety, security, your identity, and also early childhood. Okay, so this will be early childhood events that shape your identity, early childhood events that establish your sense of general safety or security. Okay, so early childhood trauma that is shaping your ideal of safety or security or identity. The energy of these incidents would be held in the root chakra. Okay, so let's go to some journal prompts that are having to do with the root chakra. Okay, these are questions you can use for yourself as example journal prompts, or you can come up with something else that suits you more better. But if you were dealing with the issue of fear of your own power, question number 1, journal prompt number 1, when was the first time I ever felt this fear? When was the first time that I ever felt this fear? Okay. Fear of my own power. Okay. Next question. Who held the power or authority in my childhood home, and how did they handle themselves, or how did they handle others? I'm going to repeat that question. Who held the power or authority in my childhood home, and how did they handle themselves and others? This is an important question, because if you're afraid of your own power, it could be stemming from examples of how you saw other people handling their power when you were growing up. Okay? You may have gotten, you may have had a poor example set of what power is, okay, of what power looks like. It may be something that you're like, hey, power looks ugly to me, and I don't want to emulate that. Okay, you could have a subconscious fear that you will become like an example that you saw of power that you did not like. Okay. Another question you could use: when did I first receive the message that I should remain powerless? When did I receive the message that I should remain powerless? Okay, and I hope you all are able to see that you can kind of change these questions to fit other issues you may be working on. Someone may be working on fear of allowing love into your life, right? And you may change that question to: when did I first receive the message that I should not have love in my life, or that I do not deserve love, right? Okay. So another question you could use: what are the known success stories connected to my bloodline? What are the known success stories connected to my bloodline? Okay. And the root chakra, because it deals with identity and childhood, and the locations in the genitalia and the vertebrae, it also has to do with physical bloodline, your DNA, right? Your physical, your ancestry, your genetic ancestry. Okay. It's also related to your root chakra. Okay. Now, last question that I have here is a possible question on the root chakra is: do I deserve to exist? Do I deserve to exist? Some of us struggle with believing that we deserve to even be here. Okay, so if you don't truly deserve, that you don't truly believe you deserve to be here, it's very difficult to embrace your own power. It's difficult to be here powerfully. Okay, if you don't believe you deserve to be here at all. Does this make sense to you guys? If so, give me some sevens. Give me some sevens in the chat if this is resonating with you, if this is making sense to you. I want to check in and make sure that we're on the same page and this is helpful for you guys, okay? These are some journal prompts you can use on day 1 when you are stopping to journal or to meditate and do some affirmations for yourself at either 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. The affirmation I'm going to give you, I'm just going to give you one affirmation per chakra. Okay, the affirmation I'm using as an example is: it is safe to own my power. It is safe to own my power. Okay. Thank you for the sevens in the chat. So now that we're making this clear, we're getting the gist of this, I'm going to go a little bit more quickly through the chakras so that we don't run out of time here. Okay. I'm telling you guys, I want you to take this practice seriously. Align your thoughts, your words, and your actions over the 7 days with the outcome that you want. And I want you to, to definitely on day 1, write down the outcome that you're looking for, or write down the issue that you're working on. I'm telling you, when I do this practice for myself, what typically tends to happen is that it really comes to life for me. I start to get all these signs, and my external reality begins to reflect that outcome that I'm holding in my internal reality. I start to see billboards with messages for me that help me with the issue. I start to see posts online. I start to see ads. I start to, people start conversations with me, just random conversations with me. They start the conversation about the issue, and I end up getting a message that way. I'll hear a podcast. All types of things start showing up in my external reality, mirroring that intention that I'm holding internally. Okay, so I want you guys to try this and give me some feedback. Give me some feedback in the comments about the shifts that you're able to create for yourself with this. Okay, so chakra number 2, your second chakra is your sacral chakra. Okay, it's represented by the color orange. Your sacral chakra is located below the navel, okay, but above the pubic bone. For women, this is the womb space. Okay, for women, this is the womb space. Okay, this is representative of sensuality, ancestral connections, creation, rebirth. And I also want to put boundaries. Boundaries. I want you to add boundaries. I don't have on the board here, but also boundary setting. Okay? Boundary setting. This is also one of the centers that hold the energy of self-acceptance. Okay? Accepting yourself however you are. Okay? Without judgment. Okay? Unconditional acceptance of the self. Okay? So I'm going to flip back here. All right, so sacral chakra, here are some journal prompts you can use. If you're working on the issue of fear of your own power, if you're working on another issue, you can adjust these questions or come up with your own. So will I be able to set appropriate boundaries as a successful person? Will I be able to set appropriate boundaries as a successful, or we could say a powerful person? Okay, sometimes we have a fear that we will not be able to set appropriate boundaries if we step into our power. Okay. Next question, what aspect of being powerful feels scary or unfamiliar to me? So if you were working on an issue about accepting love or welcoming love to your life, you may say, what aspect of being loved feels scary or unfamiliar to me? Okay. You can definitely customize these questions. All right. Do I believe I am worthy of power? Do I believe I am worthy of power and authority over my own life? Do I believe I am worthy of power and authority over my own life? Okay, that is the third journal prompt. The affirmation for your solar plexus chakra that I'm going to give you is, I am already powerful. I am already powerful. Okay. All right, let's move on to solar plexus. The solar plexus chakra is represented by the color yellow. Yellow. Okay. It's located below the sternum and above the navel. Below the sternum, but above the navel. Okay, so this is the area of your digestive system. Okay, your stomach. All right. And discipline, so like willpower type of discipline is what I'm speaking of here. Okay, your sense of self. Still trying to see if I can get a little better, closer for you guys there. Guess that's not much better, huh? Discipline, sense of self, ego, taking action, and ambition. Okay, this is also your inner child. The energy of your inner child is housed here as well. Okay, discipline, sense of self, ego, taking action, ambition, inner child. So when you're doing inner child work, you definitely want to focus on this area of the body. You can utilize visualization of yellow light in your visualizations and meditations. Okay. A question for the solar plexus. One of the prompts is, when have I used my power responsibly? When have I used my power responsibly? Question number 2 is, when have I used my power irresponsibly? When have I used my power irresponsibly? Question 3, in what area of my life, my daily life, am I owning my power? In what area of my daily life am I owning my power? And where am I refusing to own my power in my daily life? Where am I refusing to own my power in my daily life? Last journal prompt, how am I giving away my power to others? How am I giving away my power to others? How am I utilizing my power to benefit others? Maybe another way of stating that. How am I using my power to benefit others? An affirmation for this one, for your solar plexus chakra, would be, my power is for my own benefit first. My power is for my own benefit first. Okay? And when I'm teaching this to healers, I say my gifts are for my own healing first. My gifts are for my own healing first. Okay? Because many times we're utilizing our gifts and our power to benefit everyone except ourselves. Okay? The next chakra is our heart chakra. The location is in the center of the chest. Greetings, Shanae. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Our heart chakra is located in the center of our chest. It is represented by the color green. Okay. And the energies associated are love, and this is love of all kinds, including romantic love and just compassionate humanitarian love, forgiveness, okay, forgiveness, and also acceptance of what is. Many times, certain life situations just aren't what we thought that they were going to be. Our life is not turning out how we thought it was going to be, and refusal to accept certain circumstances in our lives can prevent us from moving on, moving forward, and owning our power in that situation, owning our power to make a difference and to create, the best outcome in that situation. Sometimes we're just outright in denial of our situation. Okay, so the heart chakra is what we want to work on when we are feeling we're in denial. Okay, when we realize we're in denial of our life circumstances, and denial of your own power can definitely be one of those. Okay, so the example issue we're using in teaching how to create this shift in 7 days, our example issue is fear of your own power. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the journal prompts for the heart chakra if you're working on fear of your own power. And the journal prompts are, is my heart open to accept a new version of me? Is my heart open to accepting a new version of me? Okay, or you could choose this one. Am I willing to move on from past trauma that made me feel powerless? Am I willing to move on from past trauma that made me feel powerless? Y'all give me some 7s in the chat if this is resonating for you. These are some powerful questions. I don't know how you're gonna only journal for 7 minutes on this. I don't know how you're gonna do it. I don't know. I don't know. I highly suspect that if you really put some intention into it, you're gonna end up writing for longer than 7 minutes. Okay. But maybe that'll be one of the days that you write for 7 minutes at 7 a.m. and write for 7 minutes at 7 p.m. Or continue, or just decide, hey, I gotta journal longer than this today. 7 minutes is not gonna get it. But these are some deep, hard-hitting questions. Okay, so feel free to write for however long time allows, or until you feel that you've really discovered something new. Okay. The affirmation for the heart chakra, I've got 2 examples, 2 affirmations for this one, because it's 2-pronged. Oh, I'm sorry, it's three. It's three prompts. Okay. So, whatever, if you think of something that you need to forgive, it could be forgiving someone else or forgiving yourself, even, right? For how you may have, behaved when you felt powerless, or forgiving someone else who did something that made you feel powerless, right? So, forgiving is not condoning. Forgiving is not condoning. You could even insert that person's name if there's someone you're forgiving. Forgiving so and so is not condoning, right? So you just reassuring yourself that forgiving someone's behavior or even your own behavior does not mean that you condone that behavior. We need to recognize that it's okay. Sometimes we're having a difficulty forgiving because we think forgiving, somewhere in the back of our mind, we think if we forgive that behavior, it means we approve of that behavior, and that absolutely does not mean that. Okay. So forgiving blank is not condoning, right? I forgive blank, whoever or whatever you want to fill in the blank with. Okay. I forgive blank. Okay. And the third part of that affirmation is I release blank. Okay. So just say you're trying to forgive somebody named, let's say Steve. Okay. Forgiving Steve is not condoning. I forgive Steve. I release Steve. Okay, that's how your affirmation would go. Okay. All right. So next chakra is the throat chakra. The throat chakra is so powerful. Oh my God. The throat chakra is so powerful. Okay. It is a great source of release. It is a center of purification, the purification of our hearts. Okay. So the throat chakra is represented by this, it's a blue, like an aqua blue. I don't know how well you're actually able to see this here on my board, on my chalkboard, because it really is a classroom in my energy healing studio here. The throat chakra is represented by an aqua blue, okay? The energies of the throat chakra are creativity, self-expression. So this is both verbal expression as well as expressing yourself through your creativity. Okay, so this could be painting, writing, dance. This can be all modes of creativity. Okay, ice sculpture, pottery. All modes of creativity. Okay. So some of the journal prompts that you would use, and it's super important to tap in and tune in. And if these journal prompts aren't resonating for you, make up your own that are surrounding this energy of the throat chakra. Okay. So the journal prompt I'm using for an example is, am I being open and honest in my expression of power? Am I being open and honest in my expression of power? Okay. And remember, the example I'm using for purposes of teaching this to you is fear of my own power, but it could be anything. It could be, am I being open and honest in my expression of love? Right. So in other words, are we being truthful? Could we be slightly manipulating a little bit? Are we being open and honest? And this could be in our expression, open and honest with ourselves or our expression to others. Okay. Second journal prompt, am I open to others who use their power responsibly? Okay. Because the throat chakra has not only to do with expressing yourself, but also being receptive to other people's expressions. Okay. Being receptive to other people's expressions. Okay. So the third prompt here for the throat chakra, is, how can I use my power creatively? How can I use my power creatively? Okay. How can I use my power creatively? And the affirmation I'm going to give for the throat chakra is I have unlimited power of creation. I am powerfully creative. I have unlimited power of creation. I am powerfully creative. Okay, so that's a two-pronged affirmation as well. Give me some sevens in the chat if you guys are enjoying this, if this is resonating for you. I really am looking forward to hearing more feedback of the transformations that people are able to create with this. Okay. Our next chakra is the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra, the location of this energy center is right here. Okay. Thank you so much for the sevens in the chat. Thank you so much for the feedback. I'm glad this is hitting for you guys. Okay, so third eye chakra. We're going to get your view of the board going here again. Third eye chakra is located in the center of the forehead. Let's see. It has to do with intuition, imagination, and psychic abilities, okay? Intuition, imagination, and psychic abilities. Your ability to connect to the quantum field. This is your spiritual gifts, okay? Now, intuition, imagination, and psychic abilities. The representation, the color that represents this chakra is an indigo blue. An indigo blue. So this is our second blue here, you all, an indigo blue. All right. So the third eye journal prompt is how can I utilize my imagination or intuition more powerfully? So you could answer it both ways. How can I utilize my imagination or intuition more powerfully? Okay. And then how can I use my imagination or intuition as a secret weapon? Okay. Did y'all hear what I said? As a secret weapon. Okay. And the reason that I'm throwing that in there is because so many people that are empathic see it as a curse, see it as a disability or a disadvantage. But that is because you have yet to master that gift. Okay. Not only mastery of your intuitive gifts are not only just being able to intuit what's going on or having psychic abilities, but being able to not use them. Not just how well you can use them, but being able to not use them when it's not an appropriate time, when you don't want to. Who in the world wants to be bombarded with messages all the time? Who wants to be bombarded with other people's emotions all the time? No one wants to be picking up on energies that are all around you all the time. We must be able to protect ourselves energetically. Gotta have boundaries, just like you gotta have physical boundaries in the physical world, right? You've got to have boundaries around your gifts. If not, you're gonna feel out of control. You're gonna feel bombarded and easily overwhelmed, okay? So how can I use my imagination or intuition as a secret weapon? It should be an advantage, but you got to be able to control it, okay? Your secret weapon is the one that you can control, the one that you master, okay? That people don't see coming, okay? But that you do see coming. Okay, so our affirmation for this one is my intuition is my superpower. My intuition is my superpower. You can also use my imagination is my secret weapon. My imagination is my secret weapon. I love that one. Okay, that just feels wonderful, wonderfully expansive. When I say that, my imagination is my secret weapon. right? Love that. Try that out loud. That feels so good. My imagination is my secret weapon. My intuition is my superpower. Not a disadvantage, not a burden, but a superpower. Okay? Give me some sevens in the chat if this feels good to y'all. Woo, we're about to go into the last one. This is crown chakra. So if you have some questions in your mind, be getting your questions ready that you want to ask, because I'll answer questions after this last one. If we don't have any questions, then we'll wrap it up. Crown chakra journal prompts. I want to give you some information about the crown chakra. Okay. Our crown chakra is represented by a violet color. Looks kind of pink up there because of the lighting in here, but it's actually violet. Okay. It's located at the top of the head. Okay. And what we call the crown of the head. All right. And divine guidance. Okay. Connection or unity with the all. Divine guidance, connection or unity with the all. This is your connection to the cosmos. Okay. This is your connection to the cosmos. All right. Thank you all for bearing with me as I switch my view around. But I know a lot of people need visual aids when we're doing such intense learning. Okay. I'm also like that too. So I was like, I gotta have some kind of visual aid tonight. Some kind of visual aid. So for our crown chakra, here are our options. For journal prompts, of course, again, always feel free to make your own or to, customize these. How am I working with my divine guidance? How am I working with, in conjunction with, right? How am I working with my divine guidance? Okay, because sometimes we're working against our divine guidance. Okay, so how am I working with my divine guidance? All right, that is a pertinent question for the crown chakra. You can journal about that. How can I do so more powerfully? So how can I work with my divine guidance more powerfully? How can I do so more powerfully? So a lot of this is about accepting what you heard in your spirit. Sometimes we're just really not accepting of our divine guidance. We don't trust our divine guidance. Okay? Do I trust my divine guidance? That could be a good question. If not, why not? Right? It could be related to whatever you discovered, and with those root chakra questions, if you discovered that, hey, in my early childhood, the person who had power and authority in my life was abusive. They were not trustworthy. So that's now causing me to have problems trusting my divine guidance. That could be a connection that you can make. Okay? So again, these questions can create some powerful connections for you that allow you to open into a greater understanding of why you have fear of your own power or fear of allowing love into your life, right? Or whatever the issue is that you decide to work on this with, okay? So that was day 7 journal prompts. Day 7, okay? So day 7 of spending at least 7 minutes journaling or meditating from the perspective of each chakra, right? Journaling or meditating on your issue from the perspective of each chakra. Okay, this is how we're creating this powerful shift. Okay, now affirmation that you could use, you may choose to, because you may just choose to meditate instead of journaling. For me, I get the most powerful shifts when I journal. Okay, but you can also just meditate on the affirmation I'm going to give you, or you could do both. It just depends on how much time you choose to spend on this each day, how much time you have, okay? So the affirmation I'm giving is, I am divinely guided to my highest good. I am divinely guided to my highest good. That just feels like, whew, when I say that. Okay. That just feels like, oh man, how could you mess that up, right? Being divinely guided to your highest good. That just feels so good and so right. And it takes a lot of pressure off of you when you accept the fact that you're divinely guided to your highest good. All you got to do is go with the flow, right? Trust your divine guidance. Flow with it, as I always say, okay? Fall into this flow, honey. If we have questions, I will take questions at this time. If there's anything that's unclear about, what I'm suggesting that you do. If you're watching this later, you can, ask a question in the comments then as well. Later, you can send me a question. I do check my messages often, okay? But again, this video is not going to stay up super long. It's not going to always be on my channel. As soon as I get this up on a paid platform, it will have to come down, okay? But I'm sharing this now because, man, these fear machines, right? The fear machines, you know what I'm talking about. The media, the news. And then everyone who's watching the news goes and repeats the fears and want to come and have a conversation with you about it and everything they're afraid of. And oh, aren't you afraid too? No. No, we're not about to sit around and commiserate. Right? Don't call me with that. Don't come into my space speaking about that. I don't want to hear it. I'm not subscribing to that timeline. I'm not subscribing to that storyline. Okay? I don't see any questions coming in. I'm going to take that as a sign that I've explained this clearly. Okay? So for 7 days, you're going to look at your issue, whatever the issue is that you want to create a shift concerning. You're going to examine that issue from the perspective of each chakra, one chakra per day. Okay? One chakra per day. All right? You can choose to start this at 7 a.m. or you can do it at 7 p.m. because we're utilizing the energy of the number 7, which is about transformation, transfiguration, transcendence, momentum, travel, right? Allegory, right? This is a beautiful divine number, energetic signature that the universe recognizes. Okay, we got 7 chakras, 7 days, 7 minutes. We're doing this at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. And if for any reason you missed your opportunity at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., the next time you can catch that energy of the number 7 is at 8:17 a.m. or p.m. Okay? Okay, so I don't see questions coming in. So I'm going to peace out, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. We're here every Tuesday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Thank y'all so much for all the wonderful, beautiful feedback and support. You'll give me some messages later. Let me know how this worked for you. Okay. Don't forget to give me some thumbs up on this video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel and turn on the notifications. All right. And also on Eventbrite, I am hosting sound baths here in my energy healing studio. If you are in Nashville and you want to attend a sound bath, it is for women. Right now, the Saturday sound baths are for women. Okay, but we've got more sound baths to come. Okay, and you can purchase the tickets there on Eventbrite, and it is under I think it's Pangea Northstar. I think it's under I think my Eventbrite page is Pangea Northstar, or it's Vibe and High, but I think it's Pangea Northstar. At any rate, I'm going to attach a link to the description. Okay. I'm going to attach a link in the description to my Eventbrite page so you can follow my Eventbrite page and follow the events that I'm doing. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and your support. Peace out, you guys.